Recursion is a way to solve a problem by solving smaller subproblems. In the programming world, recursion is a concept where a function calls itself in order to solve a problem. Recursion can be confusing to understand many times, but that's because we are not looking at it the right way. Before I start with an example, you must remember one important thing, which is, in recursion, you need to stop going through the function calls. This is a big problem that hampers developers when they learn recursion. They try to see what is happening at every function call and try to trace each step in their solution. Please understand that you really don't need to know what's happening at every step. Doing that is going to drive you insane. If you want to start solving recursion problems, you must be willing to take a leap of faith, like Spider-Man. You must believe. Assumptions will need to be made and is necessary for solving these types of problems. So let's take an example to understand this better. The problem here is to find the sum of all values from 1 to n. So if I pass 5 to sum, then I should get the value 15, because sum of all the numbers from 1 to 5 is 15. So first, you must understand the problem to decide what your function should do. You don't need to think about what your function currently does. You only need to think about what your function needs to do in general. This will prevent you from tracing every function call. So in our example, it's clear that the function should return an integer sum from 1 to n. Now the second step is, you need to think about how to express the problems in terms of smaller, similar subproblems and assume your function already works on it. This subproblem is going to be your recursive call. So our original problem is to sum all values from 1 to n. A subproblem in this case is to sum all numbers up to a value smaller than n. So sum of n-1, n-2, n-3, these are subproblems for solving sum of n. Now we need to select the appropriate subproblem in order to solve the problem easily. So the third step is picking a subproblem. A good starting strategy here is to choose a subproblem as close to the original as possible. Since we assume that sum function already works, why not pick a value that solves the bulk of the problem for us? In this case, since our problem solves for n, then the best subproblem should solve for n-1. Now if you remember, I said you need to take a leap of faith in recursion. So I'll assume our function sum of n-1 returns us the sum of all values from 1 to n-1. And I'll store the result of this in a variable named subproblem solution. So no need to trace this sum function with the argument n-1. Just assume sum of n-1 returns all the sum from 1 to n-1 and its answer is stored in this variable. So now, since we have the variable that contains the sum from 1 to n-1, it's not hard to get the sum from 1 to n. So the fourth step would be to take the answer to your subproblem and use it to solve for the original problem. So with some basic algebra, we can easily get the sum from 1 to n if we know the sum from 1 to n-1. All you have to do is just add n to your subproblem. So if n was 5, and we already have the sum from 1 to n-1, which is 1 to 4, that is 10, stored in this variable here, then to get the sum of 1 to n from 1 to n-1, you just have to add the value of n to the sum of 1 to n-1. So 10 plus n, which is 5, would be 15. Quite simple, right? So in our code, I can simply return subproblem solution plus n, which would return the sum of 1 to n. Now you have almost entirely solved this problem. However, there's one last step remaining. Step number 5, which is to find the base case. This is required because the function is calling itself, so it will pretty much run forever. This is why we need to add a base case or a condition to stop it. To pick a base case, you need to think about the easiest possible problem that requires no calculation. Well, in this case, it would be 1. Because think about it, if n was 1, then the sum of all values from 1 to 1 would be 1 itself. So why bother doing more recursion itself after this point? So now I can simply add the check where if n is equal to 1, then I'll return 1 itself. And now that we have a base case, we finally have a point where the recursion can stop. And that's all you need to do to solve a problem using recursion. So to summarize, first, understand the problem to decide what your function should do. The second step is to think about how to express the problem in terms of smaller, similar subproblems and assume your function already works on it. Then the third step is picking a suitable subproblem. Then the fourth step is to take the answer to your subproblem and use it to solve for the original problem. And then the fifth step, which is the last, is to find the base case of the recursion function. So that's all for the video. If you found it insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe.